everybody, welcome back to my channel, Life with Patty. And so, you see I'm turned around the opposite direction on my dining room table today, simply because Budget Joe, my dear friend Joe, she got me addicted to this diamond art. And so, I'll just show you real quick. There are all these little beads, and they makes a pattern. And I have it all set up on the other side, so I don't want to mess with it. So we're sitting on this side, and you can see my chair there with all my cookbooks and my knitting and everything right there, but that's okay. I'm here to do another one of those 10 things, you know. I don't know, this has been the latest thing on YouTube, is answering these or doing these, you know, 10 things I'm grateful for, 10 things, I don't know, what, all these different ones. So this one is the top 10 stress reducing things I do. So if you have stress, what are the top 10 things that you would do to relieve that stress? Okay? So if I have a really stressful day, and I just need to regroup and calm down, one thing that I like to do is just to go take a nice bubble bath, or take a bath with bath salts in it, turn off the lights in the bathroom, light some candles, maybe some relaxing music, and just kind of soak in the tub. And when the kids were little, and I had a daycare for 14 kids, plus my own 4 kids, and then we had 2 foster boys a lot of times. We were licensed to have 2 foster boys. Sometimes I'd get off of work from the daycare, and I would just go straight to the bathroom. And I would just draw myself a bath, and I would just relax in there for a half hour, 45 minutes. And I remember my husband used to always tell the boys, leave your mom alone. That's her time just to relax. So I always would take a bath to relax. Another way to relieve stress, and when my mother was passing away, it was very, very hard for me. My mom was my best friend, and it was the first time in my life that I felt I didn't have somewhat control of a situation. You know, you can make your decisions for this or for that and have control of it. But when my mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, it was the worst feeling in the world for me. And then as it progressed, it got worse and worse, of course. And I knew I couldn't do anything for her, but just to be with her. And it was so emotionally, physically, mentally stressful on me that I walked. I walked and I walked and I walked. I put my headphones on and I just walked everywhere. And I remember one day it was raining, and I had walked all the way down to the end of our street. We lived out in the country, and it would turn and it would curve and go around, and it was pouring down rain, and I was just kept walking and walking. And pretty soon my husband came in the truck, and he was like, you know, are you okay? I'm like, yep. And he's like, you want to ride home? I'm like, nope, I just have to keep walking. And walking with my headphones on, and it was a Cher Believe. It was the CD from Cher Believe, and I just would play it over and over again. and it helped a lot, walking. So for any time I'm under a lot of stress, if I walk, it kind of just relieves that. If I'm stressed out, and a lot of times I'll do my adult coloring books, or I'll do the diamond art. If it, you know, it kind of just puts me into another zone. It actually relaxes me. A lot of crafts that I do just kind of relax me. So crafting is another way to relieve stress for me. And like I said before, with the walking, but sometimes just relaxing music. I'll just go lay down in bed, and I'll put on some really relaxing music, and that will relieve some stress for me. Sometimes I'd like to just sit outside and to read a book. My glasses are so foggy. I don't know why. I think I dropped something on them. Sometimes I'll just sit outside, listen to the birds, and read a book, and it's just so relaxing. Have my iced tea or whatever out there. I love to do that. I like to do that even when I'm not stressed, but it's still relaxing to me. Another way to relieve stress, number 6, is be organized with things before they get out of hand. So, you know, some people's houses get so messy, it gets so overwhelming that it becomes stressful to them. Keep things organized, keep yourself organized, and it will reduce the stress in the long run. A lot of times I'll just treat myself to a pedicure or a massage, and those are stress relievers for me. I love getting pedicures when my daughter-in-law comes. That's our thing, and the last time my little granddaughter went with us too, and she was so good, and she was up there only 4 years old, and she got a little pedicure, and at first they were kind of like, I don't know about this, you know, because some kids are brats, but she did exactly what they said. They loved her. They painted her nails. They massaged her little feet for her. She was a good girl. So a lot of times I'll just treat myself to a pedicure or a massage just for to relax. A lot of times stress reliever to me is just to go out and work in my yard. Just pull weeds, clip flowers, or just whatever, and just work in my yard, and just not sit in the house and dwell about something. If something's stressful to me, go out and do something else. A lot of times you just want to take a drive. Just go for a drive. I mean, we live out in the country, but we can go all over, you know, and just take the back roads and go for a nice relaxing drive. And number 10, I mean, I work in a pharmacy, okay, so of course it's going to go on there. If things are way too stressful for me, or if I'm just having panic attacks or anxiety attacks, folks, I'm not going to lie to you, I'll take a Xanax. I hardly ever take them. I don't even have like a regular prescription where they get refills. But like if I'm going to fly by myself, I'll go to my doctor and she'll prescribe me 4 or 6 Xanax just to get me there and back, because I don't like airports. I don't mind flying. Flying doesn't bother me, but it's these big airports. I fly out of Sacramento and I know the airport real well, so it's not too bad. But you know, I fly into Denver or to Seattle or to what's the other one? Utah, to into Utah, and those airports are bigger. Seattle's not too bad. I can do Seattle pretty good, but Denver is a big airport to me. Okay, I know there's a lot bigger airports, and I get overwhelmed when I have to switch planes, and there is no direct flight from Sacramento to Montana. There is no direct flight. You have to switch planes somewhere. I prefer to switch in Seattle, but a lot of times I have to switch in Denver, and I get really stressed out over it. And so then I look at my time that I have between flights, and if it's less than an hour, I will not book that flight. I will book the later flight because I'm stressed out that I can't find my gate within an hour. And I know I can, but it's just my stress thing. So the last time I went, I flew out of Sacramento and I landed in Seattle, and I think I was in Seattle for like 5 hours because I wouldn't take that next flight out because I was afraid I was going to miss it. And so I booked the later one. That's just me. So I have to take Xanax when that happens because I can't breathe, I can't swallow, I can't drink. They're panic attacks. And I used to not even fly by myself at all. But when my son moved to Montana and I want to see my son, I got to buckle up, put on my big girl panties, and go. So I have done that. I still get stressed out, majorly stressed out every time I got to fly. And like I say, it is not the airplane, it is switching planes that freaks me out. And so, and like my brother always says, what's the worst you could happen? You miss your flight? Yeah, that's a big thing. But anyways, okay, so those are my 10 stress relievers that I do for me. If anybody would like to join in on this, and feel free to make a video and tell us what you do to relieve your stress. Okay? You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.